An Italian guy is out picking up women in Rome. While at his favorite bar, he manages to attract one gorgeous blonde. They go back to his place, and sure enough, they go at it. After making passionate love to her, which takes a long time, he climaxes. Then he rolls over, lights up a cigarette, and asks her, "So, you finish?" After a short pause, she replies, "No." Surprised, but pleasantly, he puts out his cigarette, rolls back on top of her, and has his way with her again, this time lasting even longer than the first. Again, he rolls over, lights a cigarette, and asks, "You finish?" And again, she says, "No." Stunned, but he wanted to prove his masculinity. So he once again puts out the cigarette and engages with the blonde again. With all the strength he can gather this time, he barely manages to end the task, but he does after spending a lot of time and energy. Barely able to roll over, he reaches for his cigarette, lights it again, and then asks tiredly, "So, you finish?" The blonde says, "I may look Finnish, and everybody makes this mistake, but I'm Swedish." A powerful emperor advertised for a new chief samurai. Only 3 applied for the job. On the interview day, the emperor commands, "Number 1 samurai, demonstrate your skills." The samurai opens a tiny box and releases a fly. He draws his samurai sword, and swish, the fly falls to the floor, neatly divided in 2. The emperor is impressed and says, "What a feat." Then he commands, "Number 2, show me what you can do." The samurai smiles confidently and opens a tiny box, releasing a fly. He then draws his samurai sword and swish, swish, the fly falls to the floor, neatly quartered. "That is skill," nodded the emperor. "Number 3 samurai, how are you going to top that?" He steps forward, opens a tiny box, releases 1 fly, draws his samurai sword and swish, 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 flourishes his sword so mightily that a gust of wind blows through the room. But the fly was still buzzing around. In disappointment, the emperor said, "What kind of skill is that? The fly isn't even dead." "Dead?" asks the samurai. "Dead is easy. What takes real skill is circumcision." Dave traveled up to Alaska to try bear hunting with his new rifle. He spotted a small brown bear and shot it. Soon after, there was a tap on his shoulder, and a big black bear was there. "That was an awful mistake. That bear is my cousin. I'm going to give you 2 choices. Either I maul you to death or we have sex." After considering, Dave went for the latter alternative. So the black bear had his way with Dave. He recovered after 2 weeks and vowed revenge. He made a second trip to Alaska, found the black bear, and shot it. Right after, there was another tap on his shoulder. This time, it was a huge grizzly bear. "That bear was my cousin, so you've got 2 choices. Either I maul you to death or we have rough sex." Again, Dave chose the second option. Dave survived, but it took several months for him to recover. He was outraged, so he tracked down the grizzly bear and shot it. But then, moments later, a giant polar bear tapped on his shoulder. The polar bear looked at him and said, "Admit it, Dave, you don't come here just for the hunting, do you?"